Roman-Germanic Wars, little-known facts. The Roman-Germanic Wars are among the most studied conflicts in ancient history, but beneath the broad narratives of battles and treaties lie fascinating, lesser-known details. These obscure facts reveal the complexity of the struggle and the ingenuity of those who participated in it. Here are some intriguing insights into the Roman-Germanic Wars that often go overlooked. 1. Roman engineering met Germanic resistance. While Roman roads and fortifications are celebrated engineering marvels, their construction in Germania was met with fierce resistance. Germanic tribes often ambushed Roman engineers, who traveled with legions for protection. In some cases, the tribes would destroy sections of Roman roads at night, forcing the legions to rebuild under constant threat of attack. One notable example occurred during Germanicus campaigns when Roman engineers tried to build bridges over the Weser River. The local tribes harassed them relentlessly, using the river's natural geography to their advantage. 2. Arminius' Roman identity. Arminius, the Cheruscan chieftain who masterminded the Teutoburg forest ambush, was a Roman citizen and a member of the equestrian class. He served in the Roman military, learning their tactics and strategies which he later used against them. His betrayal was so complete that it shocked Roman commanders, who had considered him a trusted ally. Arminius' Roman training highlights the depth of cultural exchange between Rome and the Germanic tribes. His story is a reminder that loyalty in ancient warfare was often fluid, driven more by opportunity and survival than ideology. 3. The Roman eagle standard's symbolism. The loss of the eagle standards at the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest was not just a military defeat. It was a psychological blow to Rome. The standards were sacred, representing the honor of the legions. Their loss demoralized the Roman people and the army alike. Germanicus' later recovery of 2 of the 3 lost eagles became a major propaganda victory for Emperor Tiberius. The retrieval was celebrated in Rome with triumphal parades, though the 3rd eagle's fate remains a mystery to this day. 4. The Germanic tribes' guerrilla warfare. The Germanic tribes were masters of guerrilla tactics long before the term existed. They used the dense forests, marshlands, and rivers of Germania as natural weapons. Ambushes, hit-and-run attacks, and psychological warfare were their hallmarks. For example, during the Teutoburg forest ambush, the tribes blocked Roman escape routes by felling trees and creating log barriers. They also used sound, horns, war cries, and drumming to disorient the Roman soldiers, who were accustomed to orderly battlefield engagements. 5. The barbarian myth. The Roman term, barbarian, barbarous, did not initially carry the pejorative connotation it holds today. It simply referred to non-Romans who did not speak Latin or Greek. However, Roman writers like Tacitus and Caesar portrayed the Germanic tribes as savage and uncivilized to justify Roman expansion and dominance. Ironically, archaeological evidence suggests that some Germanic tribes had sophisticated societies with complex social structures, skilled craftsmanship, and robust trade networks. Roman amphorae, coins, and jewelry have been found in Germanic settlements, indicating that cultural exchange was more significant than Roman narratives often admit. 6. Germanic women played strategic roles. Women in Germanic tribes were often involved in warfare, though not necessarily on the battlefield. They played critical roles in rallying warriors, conducting negotiations, and even influencing tribal politics. According to Tacitus, Germanic women were seen as sacred figures, believed to have a direct connection to the gods. Their presence in camps or on the battlefield was said to inspire warriors to fight more fiercely. The Roman historian also noted that women's prophecies were highly respected, influencing decisions in war and peace. 7. The mysterious disappearance of Legio 19. One of the 3 Roman legions annihilated in the Teutoburg forest, Legio 19, was never reformed, a rare occurrence in Roman history. While legions 17 and 18 were also lost, their numbers were eventually reassigned. The absence of Legio XIX's reformation underscores the trauma and shame Rome associated with the disaster. 8. Germanicus' secret weapon, naval warfare. Germanicus' campaigns into Germania included an innovative use of Roman naval power. He launched a fleet into the North Sea to support his land campaigns, using rivers like the Ems and Weser to transport troops and supplies deep into Germanic territory. This approach was highly effective but risky. Storms in the North Sea devastated parts of Germanicus' fleet, leading to significant losses. Despite these setbacks, the use of naval power demonstrated Rome's ability to adapt to the challenges of Germania's geography. 9. The role of weather in the wars. Germania's harsh weather played a significant role in the Roman-Germanic wars. The wet, cold climate of the region was a stark contrast to the Mediterranean conditions the Romans were accustomed to. Heavy rains turned roads into quagmires, while dense fogs made navigation treacherous. In some battles, such as those during Germanicus campaigns, sudden storms disrupted Roman formations and made their heavy armor a liability. The tribes, who were more accustomed to the local conditions, used the weather to their advantage, often launching attacks during storms or in the dead of winter. 10. Roman diplomacy among the tribes. Rome did not rely solely on military force to manage the Germanic tribes. Diplomacy was a key tool, with Roman officials often bribing tribal leaders to secure alliances or sow discord among rival tribes. The Batavi tribe, for example, became one of Rome's most loyal allies, supplying elite auxiliary troops who served in campaigns across the empire. This alliance lasted for decades until the Batavian Revolt in AD 69, when the tribe turned against Rome. 11. Germanic sacred groves. For the Germanic tribes, sacred groves were places of religious and cultural significance. These forested sanctuaries were sites of worship, rituals, and tribal councils. The Romans, viewing these groves as centers of resistance, often targeted them during campaigns. The destruction of sacred groves was a psychological tactic meant to demoralize the tribes. However, it often had the opposite effect, rallying the tribes to resist even more fiercely. 12. Rome's psychological warfare. The Romans employed psychological tactics to intimidate the Germanic tribes. Triumphs in Rome featured captured Germanic chiefs paraded through the streets, demonstrating Rome's dominance. Additionally, Roman fortifications along the Rhine were deliberately imposing, designed to project power and deter rebellion. Conversely, the Germanic tribes were equally adept at psychological warfare. The mutilation of Roman bodies after battles and the public display of captured Roman equipment were meant to terrify their enemies and embolden their own warriors. 14. The forgotten role of mercenaries. In the Roman-Germanic wars, mercenaries played a significant yet often overlooked role. Many Germanic tribes fought not just as enemies of Rome but also as hired auxiliaries. Roman commanders frequently recruited Germanic warriors to bolster their legions, leveraging their local expertise and combat skills. Some mercenaries served loyally, while others saw their service as an opportunity to gain insights into Roman tactics. Arminius himself served as a Roman auxiliary before turning against Rome, using the knowledge he gained to devastating effect in the Teutoburg forest ambush. This dual role of the Germanic tribes, as both foes and allies, complicates the narrative of the wars. It highlights the pragmatism of both sides, where alliances could shift based on immediate needs rather than long-standing loyalties. 15. Roman settlements in Germania. Despite the image of Germania as an unconquerable wilderness, Rome did establish settlements in the region. Cities like Cologne, Colonia Claudia Era Agrippinensium, and Trier, Augusta Treverorum, became Romanized hubs of trade and governance. These settlements served as staging points for military campaigns and as symbols of Roman influence. Over time, these cities became cultural melting pots, where Roman and Germanic traditions mingled. Archaeological evidence, such as inscriptions and artifacts, shows a blend of Roman architectural styles with local Germanic motifs. While most of Germania remained outside Rome's control, these settlements proved that the Romans could coexist with the Germanic tribes under the right conditions, forging a unique frontier culture. 16. The Batavian Revolt. One of the most dramatic episodes in the Roman-Germanic wars was the Batavian Revolt, AD 69–70. The Batavi, a tribe allied with Rome, rebelled under the leadership of Gaius Julius Civilis. Civilis, a former Roman officer, used his intimate knowledge of Roman tactics to lead a devastating uprising. The revolt occurred during the Year of the Four Emperors, a time of chaos and civil war in the Roman Empire. Civilis capitalized on Rome's internal instability, capturing key forts along the Rhine and inspiring other tribes to join the rebellion. Though the revolt was eventually crushed, it revealed the fragility of Rome's control over its allies and the ever-present threat of rebellion on the frontier. It also reinforced the importance of maintaining loyalty through fair treatment and respect, a lesson that Rome often neglected. 17. Germanic ironworking mastery. The Germanic tribes were highly skilled in ironworking, producing weapons that were often superior to Roman counterparts. Germanic swords and spears, forged with advanced techniques, were prized for their durability and sharpness. The tribe's expertise in metallurgy also extended to the production of decorative items. Intricate designs on helmets, shields, and jewelry demonstrated a high level of craftsmanship, challenging the Roman portrayal of the tribes as uncivilized. This technological prowess not only aided the tribes in their resistance against Rome but also became a valuable export. Roman soldiers and citizens frequently traded for Germanic weapons, further intertwining the economies of the two cultures.